we ought to be celebrating failures a bit more. And what I mean here, when I say celebrate failures, is not, congratulations, you were totally incompetent, you screwed up the entire production, we lost $100,000 and 6 months working on the project, here's a trophy. That's not what I mean. Unless you lead a bunch of millennials, and then it might work. Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. I can't believe I said that. I am a millennial too. Isn't that bad? Doesn't that make it worse? I'm that borderline, like nobody knows whether I'm Gen X or millennial, right? So not only do I want people to tell me that I'm super special, but I also want to be left alone, right? All the Gen Xers in the room get that. I see you all in the back. I got you. What I mean when I say celebrate failure is that in every failure there's an opportunity to learn. That was one of the lessons that Jesse pulled in today. I actually learned this not from business, not from organizational psychology literature. I learned this from 16 years practicing this really esoteric martial art called Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Anybody ever, or anybody watch the UFC last weekend? Okay, a couple of you. When they are done boxing and they fall down and they hug each other, that's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Like I said, really esoteric. But we have a saying in that martial art. It exists in a couple other martial arts too. Our saying is that when you're in competition, if you have the spirit of a martial artist, you never actually lose. Your only two options are win or learn. If you're too arrogant to pull a lesson from your loss, then maybe you really did lose. But most of us have something we can learn from it. So we have a win or learn mentality. But in order to have a real lesson out of it, we need transparency on the team to talk about what my role was. You know what? I made the assumption that we would be able to get this paper in, and supply chain, I really underestimated supply chain issues. Maybe I don't know, maybe I overestimated them, and as a result, I told the client a crazy deliverable time, and they went somewhere else because they had a better idea of it, right? All of us make these assumptions every day. We make decisions every day that are based on assumptions. Sometimes they don't work out. We end up losing. We end up messing up. But it's only when we're willing to share, here's the assumption I made, here's how it was different from reality, that we could learn, okay, what systems can we put in place to make sure that we have better assumptions next time. That is what we should celebrate. If you want to hand out a trophy, that's great too, but that's what we should celebrate, that transparency behind the failure that lets us learn.